Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming to my channel, d.vs.debt. This is D. Today is totally different. I am doing a hashtag budgeting holiday sip and chat that Budgeting April put together. So there are a bunch of different channels doing this. What it is a bunch of questions that she's releasing in little chunks at a time. And so if you're interested in watching people's responses and learning more about them, you just look up this hashtag. So hashtag budgeting holiday sip and chat and see what everybody has to say. So she has these cards that go with it. Honestly, I don't know why I bothered to print and laminate and get all fancy with them, because I know which card I'm going to say for all of these. So you have the option to, I'm going to tell it, I'm going to think about that girl, and girl, I'm going to pass on that. So I know, being me the way I am, I'm going to tell it because I've always been that personality. Like, if, growing up, you were playing truth or dare, I'd always go for truth. I'm much more comfortable humiliating myself by telling a funny or embarrassing story than I am clucking like a chicken or being forced to kiss somebody, or whatever dumb challenge you were given for truth or dare. So I'm all about being an open book and just telling it like it is. So the first thing, technically the first question is, what are you drinking? So you're supposed to be drinking something as you do the questions and point out which one you're going to be selecting for the questions. So I wanted to start my first one off because right now I'll be doing the first 6 questions. She says she's going to go up to something like 50. So I was planning to do a question a day because I do plan to do Vlogmas in December, which is a video every day for December 1st until the 24th. However, when I found out that it was way more than 24 questions, I decided, okay, I'll just start, chunking them up and putting them throughout different videos, as well as during Vlogmas. So the first question is, what are you going to drink? So I wanted to start off with a festive drink. And this right now is, as you can see, is filled with an obscene amount of marshmallows, just the way I like it. So it's just a packaged hot chocolate mix. And then I put in some heavy cream. I put in a bunch of marshmallows, but my secret ingredient is a dash of cayenne pepper and a dash of cinnamon. So this is spicy hot chocolate. It's going to wake up your taste buds. It's not for the weak of heart because of the cayenne pepper, but literally, I love how this tastes. When I go someplace and I have to take a dessert, I like to just take brownies that I made from a box, like pre-made mix, and just throw in some cayenne pepper and some cinnamon, and people are like, ooh la la, so fancy, so delicious. I'm like, oh yes, this is my special Aztec brownie recipe passed down for generations. And it's just a bunch of stuff I'm talking, because all it is these 2 ingredients added to it. So right now I just made this so it's a temperature of a volcano or a volcanic eruption. Yum. Mouthful of marshmallow and fire. I went a little heavy-handed with the cayenne, but that is so tasty. So I'm going to start with the first question. April wanted us to start off talking about a funny back in the day holiday story. I think mine is going to be very unusual compared to everybody else, because it has to do with a holiday tradition that I cannot stand. I think it's just a regional thing. If anyone is familiar with this, let me know. But I think it's just, I live on the US-Mexico border, so I think it's just a regional thing. But for whatever reason, every Christmas right at midnight and every New Year right at midnight, people go outside and they make it rain bullets. It's ridiculous. They shoot the sky for whatever reason, like make it rain gunfire for baby Jesus, which just, I don't understand it. But literally all you hear is like, and it's nerve-wracking. Well, whatever goes up must come down. So one of the funny back in the day stories I have, the one I decided to share with you, is I was with my family and we were at my aunt's house, gathered together, having Christmas celebration. Well, all of a sudden, one of those bullets came on down. It came through the roof. It ricocheted off the stove and shot across the kitchen. So everybody was like, ah, freaking out. Everybody was safe, thank goodness. There was just, a hole in the roof and a dent in the stove. But thankfully, everyone was okay. Once we got over the scare, though, we were all joking around like, you must really be on Santa's naughty list. for him to land on your roof with his sleigh and his reindeer, and instead of going down the chimney to leave presents, he like shoots you through the roof. So that is just my hot mess of a back in the day story. But seriously, that is a tradition that happens every dang Christmas, and I absolutely hate it. Makes no sense to me why people shoot the sky. I don't get it. But let me know if you have any weird regional things that happen on Christmas in your area, because I'd love to hear it. I think mine absolutely is the weirdest, that I know of so far. So my favorite holiday charity actually doesn't exist anymore, which is so heartbreaking. There used to be this awesome local group that every year would do a turkey trot on Thanksgiving. And so it was started by a breast cancer survivor. And what she would do is people would donate money to either, walk a 5K or run it or, whatever. There were silent auctions, bake sales, all that good stuff. And all the money stayed locally, and it went to local families with cancer. So you literally see the people that the money's going to, see that the money's actually being given to them. So I thought it was just wonderful, a great way to bring the community together and to show support to those who are struggling with cancer. So unfortunately, in the last couple of years, that went away. I'm kind of hoping that it'll come back, that it's just kind of a pause, because of 2020 kind of putting a stop to so many things. But we'll see, fingers crossed for that. The one that still does exist, though, that we do every year through the schools or through family, is there is a local orphanage across the border in Mexico. And there are everything from babies to teenagers in that orphanage. And so usually the schools will have you adopt an orphan and give you their age, their shoe size, their jacket size. And I like to adopt, like not literally the orphans, but for that donation drive, I like to pick a teenager, because most people tend to focus on the little kids because it's fun to buy them toys and things like that. But, I don't want the teenagers to get neglected. They deserve just as much love and, gifts and all that stuff. So that is the one that I'm supporting every year, but I'm really hoping that that turkey trot does come back. Question number 3 is, which family, when it comes to a holiday movie or TV show, do you most relate to personally? So for me, because technically I'm a family of one, it's just me and my dog and my cat, I honestly relate to the Grinch the most. So he lives in a cave with his dog. That's me. He's grumpy about Christmas. That's totally me. In fact, Christmas is probably my least favorite holiday because it's so stressful. It's so expensive. And I hate how commercialized it got. It's like you're pressured to prove your love to people depending on how much money you spend on them in gifts. And so I don't like that at all. I prefer homemade gifts, things like that. And I just think commercialized Christmas is just not where it's at. I do not like that at all. So I can totally relate. In fact, I, for the longest time, had dropped out of really participating in Christmas. I really was the Grinch because it was just so expensive. As a family of one, you have to buy presents for like 100 people if you're like me and you're Mexican. And so that is stressful. That's really expensive. You literally bleed money every Christmas. And so Christmas was just too stressful. This year, I'm finally going to kind of work my way back into it slowly, do Secret Santa stuff and all that. Hopefully I won't be as big of a Grinch this year. Number 4, worst dish. I'm going to probably lose some friends with my answer for this. The worst holiday dish that popped into my head. I used to actually hate that green bean casserole. And then I made it myself last year and I liked it. I ate the whole dang thing, you guys, over like the course of a week, because it was all these free items that I had gotten from my Ibotta. It was like their free Thanksgiving meal. And I was like, I don't want to waste this food. And so I made it and I ate it. So I'm actually okay with it now. However, I don't think I've ever enjoyed, and I've tried a bunch of different ones, the candied yams. Ugh, it's just potatoes with marshmallows. It makes no sense with me. I love marshmallows, as you can tell, but on a potato, and all the versions I've tried of it is just sickeningly sweet and it's just strange. If somebody's really good at making it, maybe you know a secret you can tell me, like how to make it to where it's just not ick. But it's always ick so far that I've tried it. Question number 6, I'm going to move this up so you can see me get my Picasso on, is to draw a picture of your family. So brace yourself, because I have no drawing skills. So again, I'm a family of one. Let me see if I can put my little glasses on And I have my big curly hair. It's giving me a skirt. And I am a woman of a certain girth. So there's me. And I have Peaches. So let me make her low to the ground because she's a corgi. So she's got a long body, short legs, tall ears, and a big old booty, which is why I called her Peaches. And then I have a cat named Loki. He is a 20-pound cat. So, so he basically looks like a cannonball. But that is my family right there. That is me, that is Peaches, and that is Loki. So obviously this belongs in a museum somewhere because of my wonderful drawing skills. Number 6, place I'd like to visit for the holidays. I honestly can't think of anywhere. I've been to Times Square. I would probably have a nervous breakdown these days in Times Square during the holidays with all those people crammed together, so I'll pass on that now. I can't think of any other iconic places that you're supposed to go to for the holidays at least once in your life, like a bucket list kind of thing. So honestly, for the holidays, I probably just like to go to the casino. That's like my favorite place is this fancy casino a couple of hours away with an amazing buffet, pretty slot machines, a Starbucks, like a bunch of my favorite things. So as sad as that sounds, oh, and they usually have really good concerts. So I mean, as sad as that sounds, that's probably where I'd like to do something fun for the holidays, but I can't think of a traditional thing. There are some cabins in New Mexico, which are about 3 hours away, that are really cool, and it's beautiful when it snows. So maybe a Christmas there would be awesome, actually. Yeah, that's where I would like to go. Pinos Altos, New Mexico is what it's called. So it translates to Tall Pines, New Mexico. And just spend Christmas there, holed up in a little cabin with the fireplace going and just eating and relaxing and looking at the snow out the window. So yeah. So those are my questions. April did just mention yesterday that if you're still interested in participating, you can sign up. So make sure you go check out her channel. And again, make sure you check out this hashtag budgeting holiday sip and chat. And let me take one more sip, and hopefully now it's still not a million degrees. Woo. So you might have gotten some ASMR action right there with that sip. But yeah, that is tasty, y'all. You need to try it. Don't be scared of the cayenne pepper. If you made it this far, please let me know by leaving me an emoji of a chocolate bar, since this is chocolate with a little flame to represent the cayenne pepper. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video.